Hi, this is Craig, and today you're going to learn about recording an acoustic guitar on a Martin versus a Gibson in my home recording studio. Let's go. Hi, this is Craig, and welcome to Craig Colley Music. If you're here for the first time, a special welcome. Hope you're well wherever you are in the world. Today we're going to learn about how to record an acoustic guitar on a Martin versus a Gibson guitar in my home recording studio. So hope you're ready for a fantastic ride here today. If you've been watching for a while, we've been working on a series called How to Record a Song from Start to Finish on a song called Kenny's Song. Today we're going to add the acoustic guitar, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to use this Martin or this Gibson, so I decided that we're going to use both and see which one I like, or maybe use both of them at the end. I'm going to play the same part on both guitars and to see sonically which one I like better. In this video, I'm really not going to talk too much about the tech side of it. This is a creative video. However, there will be a tech video or more of a gear-oriented video talking about the guitars, talking about the equipment that I use, and you can click this little link up above here for a link to see that video if you want to check that out. The next video coming will be a video where I edit these tracks that we're going to record today. So I'm going to start with the Martin, and we're going to work through this song. I'm going to hang up my Gibson here. Hopefully I don't drop it in the process. I'm in my recording booth here, and it's kind of small, but that'll work. Swing this guy into place here. I've already tuned them up so they're ready to go. If you're watching these episodes for the first time, you probably want to go back and watch the previous episodes because that'll get you up to speed to where we're at and what we've covered so far as we build this song out from start to finish. If you have a question, please let me know what that is, or a question that perhaps you'd like me to address in a future video. Please let me know what that is too. And if you're here for the first time, please subscribe. And if you like the video, like it and ring the bell. That would be awesome because that really helps us grow the channel. Be sure you watch till the end because then you're going to hear the comparison of how both these tracks are going to match up to each other, how you can do them separately, how you can do them together, what you can do with different pans. And it's going to be very interesting to find that out. So stick around to the end of the video and check that out. And then you can decide for yourself which guitar you like better and let me know. I'm going to talk briefly how this is set up. This is a AKG 414 microphone, set at a little bit of an angle, picking up right over where the fretboard starts over the hole. I've done a lot of experimenting in this room and with these guitars I'm using today to get the optimal sound, and these work great. Especially this microphone is such a universally purposed microphone. I love it. I use it in virtually everything I record. I've rehearsed enough so that this song is going to be very consistent. When I switch guitars, the parts are going to be the same, and the position of this is going to stay the same. So as I punch in or make changes or switch guitars, it's going to be a very good comparison. So you can figure out which guitar you like best, and the same thing for me going forward with this song. And a little tour of the studio setup that we have today. I've got a camera above. I've got a camera over here pointing this way into the booth. Now normally I would have the glass door shut here to record, but today I'm leaving it open for the video. It won't make that much difference on recording these guitars, but usually I do have it shut, so I've got a soundproof room here. I like it really dead when I record these guitars. I've also have a shot of the overhead where I'm sitting here in this little tiny booth. This booth is probably, 4 by 5 and about 8 feet tall. But it's all padded and soundproof, and I put a lot of soundproofing into this room along with this sliding glass door here. Also, we've got the screen here that I will be recording on, and let's go over that a little bit before we start. So, an overview of these tracks here. We've already done the grand piano track, which is here. We've already done the bass track, which is here, the blue. The purple is the drums. And now in this gold area right here, we're going to add the acoustic guitar. So the first thing I'm going to do is point out that this song starts with the piano, which is in this area. I'm not showing that on the screen because I've got a smaller screen that I've got less real estate on, so to speak. So I am not going to put all the other tracks on because I don't need to see them to record this. I've got 2 channels set up here for the Martin guitar, and then this will be another channel for the Gibson guitar for comparisons. I also have a master channel that all the acoustic guitars go through, and a mixing board that looks like this. So my guitars are in these channels here. I have everything color keyed. And once again, not too much tech on this video, but this to show you our layout. So first thing I'm going to do is just going to test the guitar to make sure it's recording right. Now also in this mix down, I have the other instruments, the grand piano and the bass and the drums, all turned down a little bit more than normal. This mix is going to be primarily focused on the acoustic guitar and hearing the acoustic guitar. In the mix, it will be different because it's much louder now than it will be later. But I do that so I can hear it when I'm recording. So I'm going to play a little bit from here, record a little of the guitar to make sure it's recorded, and then we'll get started. That will do. So you can see on the screen here, back this up, this is the track I just recorded. I'm going to play that to make sure it's correct. Now I'm also going to go over here to the mixing board. I'm going to hit a solo switch, and solo means it's just going to play the guitar only. Good, that's working fine. We're going to go back and now we're going to start it for real. Now I'm going to record this just as a master track I would normally. I'm going to do that because I don't need that. And I'm going to play through the whole song in its entirety and then come back and pick up some parts that I may need to fix or just to reference and listen to. These videos are set up so to share really the entire experience. So that's why they're longer than they would normally be. But if you're interested, you can just... This is what happens in the full recording process, so that's what these videos are for, to share the entire thing with you. Now, this microphone here I will keep in a very similar spot for the entire recording process. Once again, in the card here, and you click this link here, and it will show you how I have the gear set up and why it's set up like the way that it is. So let's get started, and here we go. From the top, as they say. Actually, this is going to come in for the bass part and then pick up where the acoustic guitar comes in. And I will not be talking through the track anymore once it starts. So that is the guitar part in its entirety. I kept it pretty simple. Now we're going to go back and listen to see if there's anything I need to correct or fix, and now we're going to do that right now. Actually, right there, so that second hit is a little off. I'm going to punch that in right here. And I'm just going to work through quickly spots that I hear. I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining it. If you watch the other videos, you'll know that this is the process now. And I'm going to pick up from the top and punch that in. Listen. I think something's anticipated, possibly in the bass part there. I need to look at this. I'm going to turn the acoustic guitar off for a moment here. That's what it is. The bass is kind of doing a... And my hit is a little... I'm going to turn it back on. I think that's just an example where there's kind of an arpeggio going. The timing isn't exact. But I can always move that one little section there if I need to. I'm actually going to undo that and listen to the original track. Go back to the one the one I recorded. I know I only need a portion. I'm going to keep that because then I have both to work with. I'm going to go on. Now, once again, if you're here watching for the first time, these edits I'm going to take care of in the next video. I don't do it in this video, just to keep the creative process going. Listen back to that just a little bit there. Let me go back a little more. Sounds like there's a little inconsistency, and I'm not sure if it's the guitar or the piano part there. I'm going to turn this off and listen. Yeah, the piano's a little different there. It's going to be hard to match that. I'm going to listen to the guitar again. I'm going to try because it is what it is. But this is another example that I can take that same section from another part in the song and paste it over this if this is the only thing that has a problem, which I may have that may exercise that option if in fact I can't tighten this up because it sounds okay in the other areas. I'm going to record it again. See how that sounded? Undo that and listen to the previous track. One I just did. I'm going to try it one more time. If I don't get it this time, I'm going to probably opt to copy it from another track. Listen again. I'm going to move on because I'm not quite sure that that's ever going to work because of the way the piano part was played. And there's some things you just don't notice until this happens. But like I said, I can go back and grab a part from another section and replace it. So I'm going to move on. Listen right there. Now that is a little out, but I'm going to see potentially I can move that and edit. I'm going to take a closer look. And I can see that came in quite a bit ahead, but I know I can move that because of in the editing, so I'm going to leave that. And part of the reason for this is I don't want to lose the feel of this thing, and as I said in previous videos, I don't spend a whole bunch of time on things that are maybe irrelevant in the long run. It's very noticeable right now, and I will fix them, but what I'm going to do to repair them, if I actually end up doing that, is take in consideration what still is coming, and you may not hear this at all in a final mix, even though it's slightly out now in this when we're zooming in and looking at this thing under a microscope. Big picture, it may not matter at all. So I always keep that in mind, and I encourage you to do the same. Otherwise, you spend so much time on something that you'll be the only one later that would even know it was there or ever happened or even notice it. Now that's a good example right there, that build-up part. That part's fine. So what I will most likely do is copy this whole section and replace it back with the one back here and just cut and paste it in because my time frame is set up, and I'll talk about that in editing. So that's why I wouldn't worry about that spot so much. Now we'll listen to the end. Letting that ring. And all that retard slow down part And then pretty good. They're going to listen to the very beginning of the slowdown, the retard part, and see what that sounds like again. I'm going to see if I get that part alone just a little bit closer. The ending parts were fine. This is the most difficult thing to do is when you try and match something that's slowing down another instrument. It takes a few tries sometimes. Here we go. That might have been closer. Once again, I only need a couple chords. I'm going to go back just that far. Yeah, and once again, these chords here, I can move them and I know I can fit them, but they're still really close right now, and it's a pretty good feel on the way the song ends. But I know I can move them right into place to make it squeaky tight. All right, that concludes our Martin part. And by the way, this is a Martin D35. That's what this guitar is. I may have mentioned that earlier, but maybe I didn't. So now I'm going to set my out point. I'm going to go back here, set my in point. Over there. There we go. And my starting point somewhere around here. The screen's a little more difficult to work on because it's smaller and it's a little bit farther away and darker, so it's a little harder to see, but we're working through it. Alright, so now I'm going to switch this guitar out for my Martin. Got my tuner on top there. Nice and convenient. I can just grab it like in a guitar store and just pick it right off the wall. Let's try this one. I like it because there's no price tags on them. Check my tuning real quick here. This is a Gibson Custom Star. A little quick story on this guitar. When I was living and working out in Nashville about almost 30 years ago now, I was endorsed with Gibson. I should say a partial endorsement through Gibson, but I had this guitar. It was custom made. And what's unique about it is it actually is a 12-string body with a 6-string bridge on it. So it's a little wider in the neck, so it makes it easier to play because of that. But then again, it's a different type of sound, and I like it also. It has a cutaway here, which means you can get up real high for doing solo work. Talk a little bit about some theory of how the guitar and how music works. When you have a chord that has an E, or I'm sorry, the major third in it, most instruments that is a little bit of a wiggle note in a way that sometimes it's too sharp and too flat. And particular tunings on some guitars have lots of issues with E chords versus a G chord or a D chord or an A chord. In this case, because this song is in the key of E, I'm tuning more for the E chord that's open and a big sound than the other chords. And there is something I do with the A chord where I'm actually playing this kind of sound at one point, and then when it would normally go to the major, it's a little sharp. And I know I can't fix that because the B string is tuned for the E chord and doesn't work as well on an A chord. The third of the A is too high. So what I do, I mute it with my other finger. So when I'm playing it, I don't let it sound, and the other chord in the piano fills out that major third. Now it doesn't sound very good that way, but in the track, you don't even realize that I'm doing it because that's with the B open, and that's with the B muted that would normally be on an A chord that's going to be out of tune. So that's how I work around some of that. I've never found a guitar that frets completely correct, ever, and these are really good guitars, and they're really close. And then when you do bar chords, as opposed to a lot of open chords, they completely, the intonation of those is really different than open chords. So This song I've chosen to do more barring chords and using the openness of the E chord itself and not the other open tunings as much. So let's take this thing from the beginning and let's run the Gibson track. I'm turning off the Martin track to do this now. All right, so let's start it from the top using the Gibson. Here we go. I can tell right there I needed to fix the very ending there. And my B is a little flat, very obvious there. There actually are some instances where I actually tune for the chord and punch in sometimes just one chord. All right, so I'm going to just pick up that ending there in that blank spot and fill that ending in first. Actually, I'm going to grab that chord there because I didn't hit that full enough. About right there. All right. Now all those little sounds you may hear at the end, they'll be all taken out. I'm going to listen to that. Just make sure that what I just did was fine. Once again, I'm going to go in and get that slow down part one more time. I'll have a couple versions of that. And in this case, I'm going to let this go all the way out to the end. One thing I'm not going to do is let it go further than the previous track for editing purposes. So I'm going to go out there and I'll let it ring. I don't actually have to let it ring that far. I can go about here is good. So I'm going to pick up that ending one more time. That'll work. Let's listen to that part. And once again, I know I can still move that around later. So let's listen from the top. So now let's listen from the top and see what it sounds like. Listen there. Okay, I know I messed up right around there. I'm going to listen to find an out point. Right there. I'm going to go out there and punch that section in here. Find my in point. Right there will work. Back up so I can find where I am in the piece. Once again, that's why I use these markers. I know I'm coming in before that F sharp part with an extra bar that I have to punch in now. So I'm going to go back a little more and give myself a little running start. listen. I think I messed one chord up in there, but I'm not sure it will show. One more time. Same spot. Listen. Good example of how convenient my setup is here. If you notice how I don't have to, I'm holding my pick in my hand this way, so I can grab my mouse and operate this thing, and it goes so quickly if you have things set up like this in every workstation. It's fantastic. I love it. That'll work. I can tighten that up in editing. We'll keep going. And we've already referenced the end, so we know we're set there. All right. Fantastic. All right, so that gives us both our guitar parts. Now, one thing I want to point out is I record everything flat. That means there's no effects in anything, there's no reverb, there's no EQ, there's nothing. These guitars are meant to be compared from exactly the same starting point, other than that they're different guitars and different strings and so on, but I'm playing them the same. The other thing I always emphasize is that rehearsing a lot, once again, before you record anything. So when I'm playing, I'm consistently doing the same part over and over again. It doesn't sound completely different. That's why these punches work so well, because I practiced so much before I've come into this room to play that I know what I'm going to play, and I've already rehearsed it, so I can just play it, and most of it is going to be fine. Always a few spots here and there, but if it was just the first take through all the way through, it would probably work. But once again, that's not what we're doing here. We're breaking it apart and showing what you can do and how you can fix things. If I was not recording video and I was just playing through this stuff, just not talking and shooting at the same time, I would have this done already and I would have moved on, because it takes more time to do this, obviously. But there's a reason I'm recording this, to share this. And also it's fun to do so I don't feel like I'm just locked in a booth by myself in isolation doing this, since it's just me and you hanging out again. So right now, these instruments, I'm going to go back to my mixer here, and I'm going to turn them both on, because first of all, I want to hear what they both sound like on at the same time. And I'm also going to take these instruments, I'm going to pan them left and right, and since they are playing the same thing, you're going to hear a very interesting stereo effect now. I'm not worried about the punches and the parts that aren't completely fixed yet. I'm just going to listen to it sonically, and here we go. Now what you'll notice right away, it just broadens the sound because they're split and they're two different performances, two different guitars. A lot of people try to get a stereo effect off of using one guitar and maybe delaying it and throw it over to another channel, or pan it to the left and right, and it does not work as well as if you're actually using at least the same guitar doing two different tracks, if you want to have that broad sound. And that sounds really nice, as opposed to just one guitar. And I'm going to center these again. This is just the Gibson, and then here's the Martin. Now just for the sake of comparison, let's solo them. So this is just the Martin guitar. Here's the Gibson. The Martin. Gibson. Martin. The Gibson seems a little more woody sounding to me. Here's the Gibson again. Martin. A little fuller in a way. Definitely more bottom on the Martin. Martin again. Gibson. Both of them. Almost has a 12-string feel to it in a way. Now, let's go out of solo, and I'm going to pan these to opposite sides and broaden the sound, and check this out. I'm going to back up a little bit here. Here we go. Nice wide split to the sound now, very nice imaging. Here's another thing we could do. We could take both the guitars and put them to one side and make it sound like almost like 12-string sound. Let's do that. So now they're both panned to the right side together. Now I'm going to do that same phrase again with just the Martin. Okay, now this time with just the Gibson. Both nice. Now I'm going to image them again and pan them full left and right. Solo it. Center. Big sound that way. I don't know. I like them both. I think I'm going to end up probably using them in a pan situation like this. Now I have them very loud in the mix. I'm going to pull that back slightly to give it more of what it would sound like in a final mix. Back it up again. Just the Gibson. Just the Martin. Both of them. Now I'll set them so they're both together. Give that effect as well and that idea. Very nice. So in this case, there may be another instrument that's going to be over on the left side, and this is on the right side, so I may use it that way. You can see total flexibility. The tracks sound great. Overall, I like them both. It's going to be tough to say which way I'm going to go with that, but we got the tracks laid down, and that's the main part. The next video coming up is going to be editing these parts, not really making that mixing decision yet, but now we've got them both in place, and you can let me know in the comments which one you like best and what you would do as we're working through our song, recording a song from start to finish, and learning how to record acoustic guitar using a Martin versus a Gibson in my home recording studio. And I'm really glad that you joined me today because this has been a lot of fun laying these parts down. I hope you enjoyed it. So let me know what you think. Did you like the Martin D35 or the Gibson Custom Star? Or do you like them both together? You like them pan to the side? You like them pan where they're split completely so they give that wide imaging? Let me know what you think. And if you're here for the first time, please subscribe and please leave a comment, because as a YouTuber, and all YouTubers, the value of our channel to get more viewers and to help more people find our videos, and I'm totally transparent about this and also educational if you're looking to do the same thing, is it all relies on subscriptions and comments. Without those, the channel does not grow. So if you want to help me in any, in the slightest way, please subscribe and leave a comment. And if you like it, click the like button. That way you will be notified when new videos premiere, also when I go live. And that will really help me and help you to keep this thing going, which is my intention. So the next thing we're going to do next is record most likely an electric guitar on this, from the aspect of just building the rhythm track, the basic background track. And then after that, we'll start adding some other solo instruments, perhaps an acoustic guitar, perhaps electric, perhaps something else, which I don't know what it is. If you're here for the first time and you want to watch other videos talking about the gear I use or past episodes, click the links right above here, or there's a screen at the end that will take you to the same place. Also, I wanted to let you know they offer one-on-one training and consultation to speed up the process. If you want to learn a little more in detail and have a one-on-one talk with me, I offer that as well. Once again, my music is pretty much everywhere in all the services, Spotify and iTunes, Apple, Pandora, Amazon, and all the other streaming services. You just put in my name or say, "Hey, Alexa, play Craig Colley music," and she'll bring it up. I hope I have Alexa in this room. Maybe she'll start talking. I hope not. Anyway, thanks for hanging out today. This is Craig signing off, and let me know what you think about how to record acoustic guitar on a Martin versus a Gibson in my home recording studio. We'll see you in the next video. Take care, and that's it. We're done. Always go through this. Okay, I'm going to turn it off now. See you later. You're still here.